All right, man, peace. You know, brothers, I remember all throughout my childhood, my mother would tell us, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And as I've gone through adolescence into adulthood, that saying has always stuck with me because it's very true. I've seen so many people come and go by the wayside because they failed to plan. Don't be one of those cats stuck in your mother's living room or in her basement, smoking your life away, playing video games all damn day, getting some chick or chicks pregnant, and then trying to blame the so-called white man and white woman or society for your bad decisions, for your indiscretions, because nobody's going to want to hear it. Nobody's going to give a fuck. Don't be one of those dudes who tries to create your own rules and then expect society to help you when your doings or your misgivings come back upon you, as all doings do. Your doings and your deeds will always come back upon you. At the end of the day, we are the recipients of the energy that we emit. If we emit positive energy, we're going to get positive energy back. Of course, we're also going to be the recipients of some negative energy. But out of nowhere, you'll be the beneficiary of some type of serendipity. I promise you that. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to do and you create a plan for yourself. Why am I saying all this? As we watch this segment here, this court case, Miss Jacqueline Rice is going to go about exposing the defendant, her quote-unquote baby daddy, who happens to be a so-called black man. Once again, my channel is a pro-truth channel geared towards the so-called black man. That's who my channel is focused towards, so that we can all become better and learn to embrace a ruling class mentality, so that we can hold ourselves accountable, so that we can learn how to rule. This society is in the throes of destroying itself. The so-called black man has to grasp this and understand this. You are going to be the one who is expected to pick up the pieces amidst the rubble. I promise you that. That's why the scriptures tell us what? The first shall be last and the last shall be first. As this place continues to circle the drain, as this kingdom continues to go down the drain, you're going to see more and more people starting to ask you questions of these various groups and demographics. That's why if you pay very close attention, they're even doing it now, trying to act as if they care about the so-called black man and his plight. You're going to start to notice that more and more. That's why it's important that we understand what our role is, that being to rule. If you don't grasp that, there's no real point of you being here on this plane of existence. Why are you here if you're not here to rule? The defendant has no understanding of that. And we're going to see what happens when you don't create a beneficial plan for yourself and execute it. You're going to mock yourself and be made to look like a damn fool. So anyway, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
Jacqueline Rice dated the defendant, and when their daughter was 2 months old, she died of sudden infant death syndrome.
And so-called black man. I know, especially out in states like Ohio and Indiana, you guys end up with creatures like this. Some of you cats got to do better, man. This bro looks like Miss Piggy with goggles on. What the hell is going on here?
Jacqueline claims even though she and the defendant were still dating, he showed up to their daughter's funeral with another woman, and she's suing him today for child support. Defendant Jason Parsons says after his daughter passed away, he self-medicated with marijuana and alcohol.
Jason Parsons needs to go to the optometrist, because I don't know what the hell he was looking at when he decided that he was going to make babies with that.
Jason claims he still loves Jacqueline, and he hopes their family can reconcile after today.
AKA, he don't have a woman right now.
Tell me what happened.
2004, Jason and I had met in high school. We were friends. 2006, we had ended up getting into a relationship. We had our very first son. Jason, actually, when I found out I was pregnant, I was going to break up with him because I had found out that he was cheating on me. But because I was pregnant, I decided to just kind of stick it out with him.
Or maybe you try to stick it out with him because you were unable to find another man who's willing to deal with you in a serious way like he was. Once again, brothers, you got to do better than this. I mean, damn.
Relationship work. In 2008, we had our second child, Ariel. She passed away in March of 2009. She was 2 months old from SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome.
Sorry to hear that.
When she passed, we had her funeral, and Jason had brought a female that I had suspected him of cheating on me with to the funeral.
Dum da dum dum.
How long had you all been separated?
We was not separated at the time. Not that I know of. I mean,
go ahead.
As far as I knew, we were still together.
How did that go?
Damn, you gonna bring another woman to your child's funeral? That's how you know that he was on some heavy shit, not just weed.
Going back to the day that our daughter passed away, we had marijuana in our house. They did a search of our apartment. They found the marijuana, and because they found the marijuana, they had took custody of our oldest son, Adrian.
More.
Right, but why were they searching your house for? Was he distributing? What the hell's going on?
How old was your son?
He was 2 at the time, almost 3. So basically, we lost both of our children in the same day. Children's Services had requested us to complete a family program. Jason wasn't so good at trying to fulfill that program, so I pretty much ended up doing it all on my own to regain custody of my son. It took me a whole year.
What did you have to do?
Let me say this very quickly, and I go over this a lot on my channel. Women in general, not just the so-called black woman, tend to be attracted to losers, because losers, to a certain degree, they tend to be quote-unquote lovable per se, almost like a dog in a kennel or in a shelter is lovable. It's something for the woman to take home and act as if she's going to build it back up to something functional. That's what's going on in the minds of, if you want to call those things in between these women's ears, a mind. That's what's going on in there when they're dealing with these low-level dudes. And of course, these guys are also agents of chaos, much like the woman. Negativity tends to be drawn to negativity.
Drug and alcohol counseling, 4 days a week, 6 hours at a time, back and forth. During this time, I found out I was pregnant. So at that time, they took our oldest son. I ended up completing the program a whole year to the date later. Well, I completed the program in 6 months, but I did not regain custody until a day to the date of my daughter's death. Mm-hmm. I regained custody back of him. Jason had basically denied paternity of our youngest son.
I still can't believe that this dude inseminated this broad here twice. I mean, come on, are you serious? I'm seeing a little mustache on top of her top lip. Like, what's really going on here, man? Like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she's good in the sack or something, gave him some great fellatio, but I mean, damn. You got nut up in this broad? Brothers gotta stop this.
And Children's Services had said, hey, we want you to take this DNA test. It ended up coming back that he was the father of our youngest, so they put him on child support.
When was that?
That was in 2009.
How old was the child then?
When I did the paternity test, Callan was only maybe 4 months old at that time.
All right. So he was held responsible financially since the child was 4 months old.
Correct.
But obviously hasn't paid enough, or he's at least $5,000 in arrears. Let me hear from you, sir. We'll get...
He's not in his right mind. He can't pay shit. He don't even know up from down. Dude is smoked out.
Back to the specifics on the child support.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd like to say I'd love to have my family back.
Bullshit. You smoked out, you broke, you don't have a job. That's why you're trying to get back with this broad so you can lay up on her damn couch. This is one of these type of dudes that come on my channel in the comment section and try to argue with me about weed. Brother, I don't know why you're talking about weed. I could tell you never smoke, because when I smoke, it opens up my mind to all type of possibilities. Yeah, I bet. The possibility of whether or not you're going to sleep all day on the couch in the living room or the couch in the basement. The fuck out of here.
Jackie, I told you this plenty of times that I'm still in love with you.
Bullshit. Love for you is someone that you could snort a line of coke with and smoke blunts with, allegedly.
Besides that...
When did you all break up?
Oh.
How much you want your family back? Didn't you say 09?
Yeah.
That's 10 years ago. Man, she gone.
That's why I said this nigga desperate. Look at his face. If she don't take him back, he's probably going to end up in prison. He knows that. Because that child support case going to be on his ass.
Been gone. What you talking about? You ain't paid your child support. It's been 10 years. You know I want my family. You trying to get out of paying. Now tell me.
He's also trying to get out of having to get a job.
About this. Woman don't want you.
It was a
You
lot.
want him?
There was a lot going on at the
I just want
time.
her money. Go ahead.
That's a damn shame. You've hit rock bottom if Miss Piggy don't want you back.
I'm not gonna lie. Yes, there was a lot of cheating going on. I did a lot of cheating. She also did a lot of cheating herself as well.
Damn, you got cheated on by Miss Piggy.
It
Who was the other dude? Kermit?
was just,
Did you bring a woman to the baby's funeral while you all were still
it
together?
was a coworker, Your Honor.
Co-worker. Stop lying. You have to have a job to have a co-worker. That was your blunt smoking partner. Y'all smoke weed together, and who knows, he probably was the weed dealer. I mentioned this in another video. The weed dealer always gets to fuck his female clients at least once.
It was a
You
coworker.
weren't dealing with her?
No, I was not.
And she didn't ask about it or anything? You never asked him about it?
Before our daughter passed away, I seen text messages between the two of them, and I had
Just
suspected
friendly
that they
text
was-
messages, coworker text messages.
Bullshit. No such thing as female and male friends. Knock it off. All that was some possible pussy down the road.
It was nothing too.
All right.
Same old story.
I didn't think you would be like that, sir.
But we was doing a lot of grieving at the time. When our daughter passing away, like, I did a lot of self-medicating with alcohol and marijuana. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Okay. I'm glad that's all you went to is alcohol and weed.
Well,
Yeah, he on some stronger shit than alcohol and weed. You can look at his damn face and see that.
Further than that?
no, I have not.
Okay, good.
Allegedly.
She also had a little self-medicating herself.
Yeah, food, probably. This chick look like she'll tear up a bowl of pudding.
With nothing beyond alcohol and weed, hopefully.
A little bit of cocaine.
Is that right?
Yeah, she sprinkled cocaine on some cupcakes.
You
No.
turned to cocaine?
No, I did that long before I had kids.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
So,
So you I can understand you being traumatized by that. You went down to a life of a downward spiral.
yes, heavy
Understandable.
drinking. Yes, I did.
Stop making excuses for him, Judge. That's the last thing he need.
But I changed my life around.
When?
Over the last couple of years, actually.
Okay.
I started realizing that I need to be a better parent.
Is that around the time you started to get that fat ass child support bill in the mail?
And you sincerely wanted your family back, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, I do believe that.
I don't.
And sorry to hear everything that happened to you. It's hard to stand in judgment of your lifestyle and the destructive ways, having experienced what you experienced. So
Yeah, it's a terrible thing that happened to him, but at the end of the day, we have to start making better decisions from before the child is brought forth. After the child is brought forth, things are going to happen. But he decided that he was going to make 2 children with a woman who's also a drug user while he's a drug user. How much goodness do you expect to come into your life after that?
I'm gonna leave you alone on that because that's pretty tough experience to go through. And I do know that people oftentimes, when they're traumatized, they turn to alcohol and drugs to ease the pain, self-medication. People wonder why there's so many folks in impoverished communities that are on drugs. Certainly poverty is painful.
Brothers, let me say this really quick. There are certain outlets that we have to seek after whenever we're going through hard shit in life. Things that can be productive and constructive as opposed to destructive. Using drugs, abusing alcohol, it's not going to make shit better at the end of the day. Not preaching to you, just giving you my perspective. Go to the gym, lift weights, go to the boxing gym, hit the bag. Those are things that you can utilize that are actually productive and constructive when you're going through hard things and you have to express that stress in a physical way. Don't start smoking up blunts, man. That shit is not going to help you. I don't give a shit how much you love weed. And I don't want to see no niggas in my fucking comment section trying to go back and forth with me about that. If you're a weed head, that's your business. At the end of the day, I have a series on that. Because I know that they're trying to push that on the masses right now to keep them in a fucking haze. It's time for the so-called black man to come out of that haze. Just my perspective. If you don't like it, oh well. But this brother right here, he needs a little bit of tough love because you could tell he's been a fuck up for the majority of his life. It's a terrible thing that happened to his child, but he's been fucking up for long before that. When we fail to plan, we plan to fail.
You can't feed your children. You can't feed your family. And they're looking in your face every day, Daddy, why can't I get these gym shoes like all the other kids? Why can't I get this and that and the other? Your wife bugging you to death. Go out and get a job. You ain't nothing. You ain't.
Yeah, she wasn't thinking about that when she was getting that mandingo because she didn't care. All of a sudden, when them kids sprout out, now she understands what it takes to raise a family. That's why it's up to the man to grasp these things ahead of time. We have to start thinking 3, 4, 5, 6 steps ahead. No serious relationships unless you have a job or income, man. Zero, zip, zilch, none. No serious relationships with these broads. Because they're going to give you that song and dance. Oh, it's okay. I know you're out there looking for a job. I believe in you. I know you're trying. Now come get some of this pussy. And you go get some of that coochie with your sloppy, silly ass after she done bought you a couple drinks. You slip up and bust a nut inside of her. 9 months later, she's giving you hell. And she done did a 180 on your ass. Don't buy it. Don't fall for it.
No good. Yeah, you're going to say, oh, I'll be right back. Instead of getting the job, you're going to go and get your hit.
What was that? That's not weed. You say he smoked crack? I believe you. I agree with you. I think that he's on that rock too. But I mean, damn. I like when Mathers do that. When he act like he hold the pipe and spin his hand around.
To ease that pain away. I feel good now. So it's no mystery as to how all this is occurring. First, the availability of the drugs. Then the poverty that causes the pain to make one desire the drugs to escape the pain.
You know, brothers, there's always a way out of poverty, but it starts with a vision and a plan. You cannot change your present condition unless you have those two things. Don't let people try to make you conform to that victim mentality, because if that's the case, you'll be a victim your whole fucking life. You'll talk about the projects that you came from and the gangs that you grew up around, and you didn't have this and you didn't have that, and a lot of that might be true. But it's not about the condition that you're in, it's what you plan to do about it. That's the bottom line, because if that's not the case, I mean, hell, why the hell are you here on the earth for? If your concern is not figuring out what your problems are and how to solve them. Unfortunately, a lot of cats, they don't have that type of mentality. Their whole thing is, well, I don't have shit, so I ain't shit. You can't let your environment define you. And I do understand that there's a symbiotic relationship between the neighborhoods that we're from and who we are. Our neighborhoods are a reflection of who we are, and who we are is normally a reflection of our neighborhoods. But you got to break that cycle to the best of your ability, because there are more opportunities today to choose what you want to do with your life than ever before in history. Many other times throughout history, what you were going to have to do, whatever your vocation was already predetermined by what your father was. Now you can choose what you want to do. So it's just a matter of being raised in an environment where they encourage you to do well. The school system is very poor, not even so much because of the curriculum, but because you have these children who are coming to school from negative environments in their household, and they're bringing that negative vibe into the school system. And then so-called black children are being inundated with images from the television that tell young girls to be cantankerous and to be confrontational with young boys, to constantly try to demean them. And the television tells young boys that they should always be trying to conform to the feminine principle, and that they're pretty much just drones. So they're never told about their own beauty. They're only told about the beauty of the young girl and the woman. And then on top of that, there's no images that are presented to young black boys about our history or where they come from and where they can go. Our people have been deculturalized. So those are the real issues that have to be resolved. And it starts, number one, you have to have a vision for yourself. If you don't have a vision, nothing else is going to matter, because you're going to allow other people to tell you what you can do and what you can't do, and who you can be and who you can't be. Fuck all that. Number one, always first step to maturation. Other people's opinions about what you can do don't fucking matter. They don't matter. Period.
Tell me about the child support, the specifics.
In 2008, I had put him on child support for our oldest, Adrian. And when after our daughter had passed away, Children's Services had put us both on child support. And then when I regained custody of my oldest son, they shifted it back over onto him. That was in 2010. So whenever it shifted it back over to him, he was like $21,000 in child support behind in 2016. They issued a warrant out for his arrest.
Yeah, that's why he's trying to get back with you now, because they got that bounty out for his ass.
21,000.
Yes. He was out on a PR bond.
They probably stopped his ass on the street and said, "Sir, do you know that you owe 21,000? I guess. How much you got on you now?" That nigga start feeling around his pockets. All you hear is change jangling.
We went to court, and that's when they started garnishing his wages.
Good.
He's currently...
Hey, brothers, you hear that? She said they started to garnish his wages, meaning they started to take money directly from his check and from his bank account. The judge said, good. No one is going to feel sorry for you when you try to push that sob story bullshit. No one's going to care. That's why you have to plan ahead of time and not allow yourself to get caught up in these situations. That same sweetheart woman that you think is going to love you and all that other shit, you wait till that baby pop out. That broad going to do a 180. Her head going to spin like The Exorcist.
At $12,000 now. So he has gotten it down, but it was because of the garnishment of the wages.
What do you say, sir? This is since 2010.
Since 2010 to 2014, I was not able to keep a steady job.
For 4 years, you couldn't keep a steady job? I wonder why. It's kind of hard for you to work a forklift when you got cocaine scattered up under your nostrils.
Survived for 4 years.
I pretty much found ins and out jobs. Like I worked at a liquor store under the table.
What's your level?
Yeah, the problem was you was drinking all the liquor under the table. You was working for a liquor store under the table. You mean you was drinking up all the liquor under the table?
Training.
Really, I didn't have no training at that
So
time.
in the 4 years that you couldn't afford to pay child support because you didn't have a steady income, why didn't you go and get some training so that you would be eligible for a job that you could be paid enough to feed your family?
At the time, I did not have the correct education.
Right, I know. That's
Right, that's why he said, how come you didn't go to learn a trade? Go be a welder, an electrician, install air conditioners, plumbing, something. You don't have to go to college and all that other stuff, but you do have to equip yourself in some way.
you had 4 years though that you were doing nothing. Remember, that's what you just said.
I mean,
you said from 2010 to 2014, I did nothing.
Well, he wasn't doing nothing. He was smoking crack and smoking weed, but if that counts as nothing, then yeah, he was doing nothing for those 4 years.
I
That's
didn't do
what you
nothing.
just said. You said I did a little this and a little that every now and then.
Yeah, a little crack, a little weed. That's what he meant, a little this and a little that.
I mean, I had regular jobs. It's just I couldn't.
That's not what you said.
I said I couldn't keep a steady job
Why?
because it was just hard at the time.
Hard to do what?
Just whatever they needed me to do.
Just say it. Say the truth. Because when you say the truth, then you'll start from step 0. Because that's where you're asking to start from. Say the truth. Say, Your Honor, I'm a loser. Say that shit. Embrace it. I'm a loser and I need to fix my life. Start there.
Work was too hard?
No, it was just certain jobs was just not fit for me. Like,
What was
Yeah, those type of jobs where you actually have to work, right? You got to lay off the weed and lay off them other drugs. But he has a lot of issues. The brother might have family issues, things of that nature. That's why, once again, we have to make sure that we take inventory of ourselves and the woman that we inseminate so that we could try to do the best we can to create a positive household, man. Because this dude, he's damn near finished.
unfit about them?
just
So much so that you didn't want to feed your child. What was unfit about the jobs?
it was just the employers and the co
All the employees?
You know, Honor, they actually expected a nigga to have to come to work on time and do work. I mean, shit. What is this, slavery?
4 years worth of employers were not a good fit enough for you to get some money to feed your baby?
I mean, it was not just that either. It was just,
What?
It was the point that I did not want to
Work.
support the man she was with at that time either.
Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. You thought that your child support payments were going to go back to Miss Piggy and her new man Kermit. That's what the issue was. That's still not going. That's not going to be an excuse anybody's going to accept.
What they got to do with the man? You ask them to support the man?
No.
I'm not even quite sure if this broad can get another man. I mean, come on. Who the hell is she dating right now? Ray Charles?
Your Honor, I was only in my 20s. I was young. I didn't know anybody.
How old are you now?
I'm 33.
Okay, it's been 3 years since you've left your 20s. Stop making excuses.
I was
Well,
only
you got a lot of excuses, sir. And this is the only one I'll consider reasonable. All that other stuff is nonsense. And you say the back balance is $12,000?
Yes, sir.
Is that true, sir? Let me see what you have.
That nigga don't even have $12, much less $12,000.
So,
All right, and the maximum we can give you today, ma'am, is $5,000. Yeah, $6,600 and then $5,500, sir. All right, sir. You better get this child support money. All this was not a good fit. Everything got to be a good fit for you. Because if you don't, you're going to jail. They'll lock you up if you don't pay your child support. Then you go to jail and the child is not fed.
That's the exact reason why he trying to get back with her.
I don't care how you...
See, black man, this is how they want you to look. They want you on TV embarrassing your fucking self. This dude dressed up like a 7th grader going to Catholic school. Shirt all baggy and shit. Like, come on, man. Get it together.
Whatever you got to do. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I respect Jason, and I respect that he's...
No, you don't. You don't respect him. Knock it off. How you gonna respect a dude that's never made a child support payment, 33 years old, can't keep a job? Just stop.
step up to the plate, but he needs to do a little bit better of a job. That's all.
I love having another second chance, but...
What second chance? You haven't been with her for 10 years. A second chance to do what? Lay on the couch? Bro, you better go get you some type of employment, man.
Obviously, that's not going to happen.
You think?
So I guess I'll just try to be the better dad that I can be.
But anyway, brothers, that's basically it on that. Once again, when we fail to plan, we plan to fail. And we don't want to be that dude on TV, on the news, in the newspaper, making a mockery of other so-called black men, because that's what they want. That's what they're looking for. But anyway, peace.